Good morning, everybody. It is an exciting, fantastic, amazing Sunday, as it always is, because I get to be here with this amazing community. We get to talk about real estate investing. We get to talk about weird purchases like weirdos like me buying jails and police stations. We get to get all of your amazing questions. You get to ask them. I get to fumble around and answer them based on my experiences. Or tell you that I have no idea, which is always on the table. So I'm super excited to be with you guys this morning. As I said in the release, it finally happened. Major announcement. And so for those of you who have been part of the community for so long, I'm excited to be able to share that with you guys. But I also wanted to welcome all the new listeners and watchers from all the other interwebs that have come over to hang out with us and become part of this community and share our amazing experiences in real estate investment. We are cut from a different cloth. It is absolutely it is a different life. It is a different lifestyle being a real estate investor. For the trolls that believe that it doesn't take any work, sidle up, friends. Come on, join me for a day, and you can see exactly how little work it is on a Saturday after I've worked a 50-hour week at my real job, and then I get to do this fun stuff on Saturdays and Sundays. And the good news is I don't get to handle it during the day during my work week. So then I also have the joy of being able to do it after I've put my kids to bed. And so 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, I'm able to then start responding to things that have happened or occurred during the day, or talking to, other investors or tenants or project managers or other contractors, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it is, but I did allude to something there in my opening, which is, after you're doing this, for so many of us, this is a side hustle. For so many of us, this isn't, we didn't go all in because we were already, in our 30s, in our 40s, in our late 20s, and we already had life responsibilities. We already had debt. We already had life creep. We already had financial responsibilities, whether it was, being married and having kids, or, financial responsibilities to paying off massive college debt. I didn't have that. I had everything else. Well, not wife and kids, but I had all the other stuff. And so, when we talk about that, what's really exciting is that the reason that we all jumped in this boat is to essentially create an out for ourselves later on in life. For me, I was very blessed, much like Dion, very blessed to have a job that I loved, very blessed to have people that I really cared about, that I worked with. The joke that he says is true. You get demoted all the way to president. I thankfully was never demoted to president, but I was that one tier right below. And with inactive ownership, as we'll call them, I was usually the one that got whatever it was, the managed chaos of the day. And so as you build yourself up in your career, as you advance in your career, you continue to look to make those, create those off ramps for yourself, create those opportunities where you can really pour into it, where you can really invest in it, where you can create an alternate future, and not having to depend on the next deal coming in, the next paycheck coming in, the next thing that your boss tells you is, hey, you're going on the road for the next, 12 weeks on a road show. And being able to say, yeah, I don't want to do that. And so many of us, and that, it will offend some people. And for that, I apologize. It's not meant to that, but it really does feel like you're shackled. You really are shackled in that spot where you're having to do what you have to do to keep your boss happy, to hit the numbers that you need to hit, to keep your management team happy, to show that you're doing as much or more and better work than the person sitting in the cubby next to you. And so, for you guys know, for months and months and months, my good friends have absolutely tortured me. Dion and Mike, Millennial Mike, Mike Zuber, these guys have absolutely tortured me. They've absolutely busted my stones about keeping my W-2. And you guys know, after watching me as long as you have, I'm completely broken. I love working. I love being productive. I love doing things. I'm a doer. If you own a small business, there's nothing harder to find than a doer. And when you find doers, you pay them more than what you expect, and they will help you do your way to growth. And so doers are really important in the world. There's plenty of talkers. They're usually trolls on YouTube, but there's plenty of talkers. And so, we finally, over the Christmas break, as we'd finally gotten the company that I worked for sold. I was the highest executive there that got moved over to the new company. And excitingly, this Thursday, I retired. So that is it. I am officially retired. I gave my 2 weeks, my last day, and it was planned this way. So it wasn't coincidence, is Valentine's Day. So as a gift to my wife, my kids, and myself, and quite frankly, to the community, because we're going to spend lots more time together. I've seen Dion's list. He doesn't have much. It's videos for you guys, napping, and video games. That's pretty much it. So the way that I look at it, I'm going to have a whole lot of more free time on my hands over the next 30 years. So hopefully you get used to this face. I know you'll probably never get used to the face, but at least us coming together and joking around and having a good time, I know that we will. But I am super excited. To that end, I will just kind of tell you through the process. I hopefully will release a video of the moment that it happened. I'm working through that right now. But I can tell you honestly, there is there's a bit of a sadness there. I really love the people I work with, really do. The people that we work together at a small company, and we really made that company thrive. Small business really is the lifeblood of this country, and you get to build those really strong bonds, and really strong relationships. And so, with a couple of people, with a person, I cried, because I'm just going to miss that person absolutely immensely. We are together forever. She will always be a part of my life moving forward, my family's life moving forward. But you form really strong bonds when you're a small sub 50 person company. And I started off there as a rep, and I finished there as, their executive vice president, and had a global job. I was responsible for our clients globally. And so, it was an amazing career, honestly. 26 years is how long I worked in that job, not that company, but 17 years at that company. And so I had 4 different jobs, 4 or 5 different jobs, I think, there in that company. As a rep, and then a regional manager, and then a director, and then a VP, and then an executive VP. So however many times that is. But just immensely blessed to have had the career that I had, to have had the people that I got to work with. I'm absolutely grateful. Many of them are part of my life, and that will never change. Some of them aren't, and that's okay. But I want to encourage you, if you feel like it's just too much, and if you feel like you never have a moment of downtime, welcome to my last 26 years. So I am really excited for Dion to show me what downtime looks like. I need to be taught. I told him yesterday, I said, I want to break all of his lazy records. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do that, because they seem kind of counterproductive. How do you break somebody's lazy records, right? But there's so many people in this community that work so hard, and in 14 days, I'm a retiree living on a fixed income. Man, that's weird. That's so weird. But I'm excited to do the journey with you guys. I'm excited to watch you guys continue to invest. I'm going to depend on you guys now. I'm going to depend on you guys now to tell me your stories, to show me what you've got, to show me what you've done, to show me how I can help the community out better. So I don't want YouTube to become a job. It's definitely not what I want. What I really want is to be more active in the community. And so, yeah, we got a lot of stuff to do, but the next couple of months, I'm very excited. We got a couple boot camps that we're kicking off. Let's cover that a little bit real quick. We went through a transition um, with a vendor. And so as we're transitioning with that vendor, there's been some delays. But I promise you, no one will miss when the first boot camp is. We have to get these dates and times out that are available. You're going to see a communication from us over the course of this week. I have a meeting with the vendor on Monday. Want to make sure you guys are aware of that. And so obviously we're not going to miss a thing. We're going to make sure we get our 12 full weeks in. We're just starting a couple weeks later than what I expected because I didn't expect this transition. So I'm just immensely happy to be retired. And Dion said it's like falling off a cliff on that last day because every day is Saturday after that. I just really appreciate my friends and in this community. I think that, as I thought about it, I shared it with some people and, they were excited for me and they were like, what are you going to do? I was like, well, I've got a nice, beautiful box that I know will go well on the street that we can move the kids into. But I think that other real estate investors are really the only ones that really understand, right? You guys see it. You guys see it when you buy the next asset, when you get the next tenant, when you get the next, rent check, and then the bills that come in, and you have to make sure that you're building out a life that allows you that margin, right? So so I had the conversation with Millennial Mike, had a group text, had a conversation with Dion, which was awesome. We kind of got over our laughing after 10 or 15 minutes. And then he's like, all right, the psychopath in me has a couple questions for you. And I appreciate friends like that, right? Like who is willing to ask that crazy question. So it was cool. We got through it. We got through that stuff, but yeah, I'm super, I just saw your thing pop up, 24-hour boot camps. Yes. Yeah, 24-hour boot camps. We're going to knock out the whole thing in one session, guys. We're not going to do that. Nope, we're not. Because it's still an absorption thing. You still need to absorb over that time. So anyway, I wanted to thank you guys. You guys are a big part of my retiring. You've been along through the journey for the last couple of years. You were along through when I had to build the business big enough where I could actually afford to retire. And so, yeah, thankfully now we're at that point and overjoyed, honored, blessed, excited. And there's still a little bit of nervous in me for sure. There's still definitely a little bit of nervous in me. So, I want we share in each other's wins. And so I just wanted to encourage you guys. I know that many of you are putting yourself on the path and doing the very best to put yourself on the path so you can have a meaningful retirement. And I might be doing it a little bit earlier than some of you. I won't do it earlier than Cody. But I'll do it. I think Millennial Mike will do it earlier than me. I think he will. But yeah, so I'm just honored. I'm excited. I'm blessed to be here with you guys. And in 10 days, that chapter closes and the next one opens. Thankfully, after all the conversations with, Zub and Dion, I'm retiring to something, not from something. So yeah, just immensely blessed. Super excited to be here. And let's jump into some real estate stuff, because the other thing that I wanted to kind of cover, along with the excitement about, the journey and the excitement of the retirement from the W-2, aside from all of that, now I also am not jumping into a business where I'm in heavy growth mode, right? We're in sustainability mode. We will take on projects that are weird. Like a daycare, like an indoor playground, like redoing a jail police station. We'll do cool stuff like that because we can, because we want it to make a difference. It has a mission to it. You know, as you guys know, one of part of the mission of what we're doing, you know, with the jail and the police station is we want to do disabled veterans housing with some of that project. We want to do the indoor playground because here in the winter time, like today, the wind chill was like, had us at like 8 degrees. It's freezing outside. My kids aren't going to be outside today. And so we need to have a place where families on a budget can take their kids indoor playground and do that. And so we're super excited about that being part of the jail and police station project. And so I would just tell you, be encouraged, be excited. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. It is not a train. And yeah, we are going to be on our way. So I'll jump into all the questions. There was a lot of guessing, and a lot of you guessed right. I think Johnny Ramirez guessed right. I think Rob, it was your first guess before he thought, you know, wondered if Millennial Mike was going to get married or Dion married again. Like, so yeah, so we'll see. So trade better. Matt got Heckinger's sponsorship. I don't know what a Heckinger is. I don't know what that is. Maybe. Boomer 64. There he is. Don, North Colorado Don. He was one of the original subscribers to the channel. Been with us for years. I'm super excited. Yes, Don, I did finally retire. Josh Burdick, I bet he retired right before Vegas so he can party it up. So maybe that's coincidental. Maybe what's really funny is I fly out on the 15th. So it is literally my first full day of retirement is going to be spent on a plane getting out to Vegas for the event. Yeah, super excited for it. Angel R, yes sir, that is the face. I am done. Josh may be right. Frank Contreras, open. No, right? I remember that commercial, Frank. It was for Sears. That's correct. I remember that commercial too. That's really funny. That was like early 80s, wasn't it? Early mid 80s. All nighter. I remember that. Sorry, Landlord Odyssey. Hey guys, maybe he's breaking ground on the jail project. Maybe. So the good news is that we're very close. We've never been this close. We are actually maybe a week or two away from finally having permits, and then we can start. But all of the contractors are lined up. So the day that I get a permit, we're going. We have all the contractors lined up. We have the framing crews lined up. We've got the installation crews lined up, the electrical crews lined up. Yeah, we're ready to go. So we've got, you know, the way that I'm looking at that is March, April, May, June, July, August. Yeah, it's probably going to take till the end of August to be going. But that's what we're going to try and manage to, and we'll take you guys along for that amazing journey. Millennial Mike. Jackass. Honest to God. Millennial Mike says a very special super chat to remind you that you're no longer being effed by a W-2. Thanks, Mike. Congrats, big stud. Can't wait to celebrate in Vegas. Best part of retirement throwdown. I'm shocked. Sacre bleu. What? You guys will see. Maybe someday you guys will see what the response was when I retired. It was not good. It was not good. I mean, it was good to get that response. It was not good. Yeah. Someday. Someday. Phil Nealon, thank you so much for the super chat. Good morning and thanks for the Sunday show. Phil, I'm thrilled. Phil, are you going to be in Vegas in 2 weeks? I've been meaning to send you an email and ask you if you're going to be there. I don't know if you are. So, wealth building journey. Congrats on my retirement. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that, Chester. Yeah, you guys being in this community, it's a blast. You guys are so much fun and, you know, let me do something that I like to do, which is help people and then be in real estate. So it kind of works. Let's see. Justin Stanley, he quit his job, has joined the circus, transitioned to a woman, and is now a bearded lady named Michelle. Justin, that's not far off. I mean, we missed on a couple of those. But yeah. Keith Hager, I hope he got a great retirement package. I did not. I didn't. I don't know if I did or not, honestly. Yeah, I'll share more when I'm 100% done on the 15th. You'll probably hear some from the stage when I'm up there. Like a retirement Lambo instead of a watch. So I'm a big watch guy and I don't have a watch on. I'm a big watch guy. I love watches. I have expensive taste when it comes to watches. So I will be celebrating. I will be celebrating with some sort of a retirement purchase. It's not purchased for me. The big thing is that the people that I worked for 17 years, I helped them sell the company. And so the new people have only had me for 4 months. Suffice to say, I'm not even expecting a cupcake. But we'll see what happens. Dion may have to point his Pink Panther messages at Mike M at Millennial Mike now. Yeah, I know. It might have to happen. Yeah, Justin, that was last week. Yeah. Very good one, Hyder. Let's see. Rob, now that Hyder's a landlord, he's on the retirement path. Yes, exactly. Congratulations again, Hyder. I'm excited for you, buddy. And you couldn't have done it with a better investor. So I'm super excited for you. Master Coach University. When you leave the mothership, you finally have the time and impetus to build your own. So that's a great point, Master Coach. Thank you for the super chat. That's a great point. So what's really funny is, at the end of the day, I'm a retiree on a fixed income. so it is what it is. But what's really exciting about it too is I've already I have another company. I have a company that I built over 22 years. So I don't even have to leave and go start something new. I can just continue what I'm doing and just be able to pour a whole lot more time into it because, I just got a whole lot more time in my schedule for availability. So I'm excited to do that. So I appreciate you guys too. I know that there's some mentorship stuff that we've had to push along, and I appreciate your guys' patience. There's going to be a special gift in there for you. But I appreciate your guys' patience. It's really been about doing everything I could to get everything wrapped up and closed up so I could retire. And so now we've done that. Yes, Don and Bev Perkins, I am retired. He's going to live stream the rehab from Gary. I won't be doing that. Because I mean, maybe I can. I don't know. The next time Mike goes out there, I'm going to try and connect with him, and I'll go out there and meet him together. Oh, it was for Mervin's. Hi, that's right. It was for Mervin's. I remember because there aren't Mervin's where I am, but there are where I would visit family. So that's exactly right. Mervin, Sears, potato. Booger Fart Boy, good morning. Good morning. Landlord Odyssey, good morning. All nighter. Yep. Welcome to the family, guys. Absolutely. Wealth building journey, lead order completed. Actually, the lead order is completed. People are moving in this weekend. And so now I have everything for a 17 month journey. 17-month journey on a lead order where they're like, oh, it's going to take 4 months. 17 months. So we are going to have that as a course. If you're already in the Lumberjack Landlord course, it's not a money grab, it's yours. I just want to make sure that people don't have to buy the entire course if they only want the lead portion. But man, I am going to take you through it. Every step, every email, the conversation points. I mean, you guys have no idea how big this is. It literally is going to be hours long in a course showing you all of the progress, all the things you need to do, all the stuff you need to manage. I'm going to show you all of that stuff. Again, we're going to have it separate because it's going to take me a ton of time to put it all together. I've already started with like an outline, and holy Toledo, it's a lot, but can't wait to share that with you guys as well. Nohia, are you messaging people on IG? Because I keep getting messages from you and I don't know if it's you or not. It is either me or someone on my team. It is. So we are reaching out to folks because, there was confusion about boot camp or, when people could get started, and there's always questions about that. We wanted to take an individualistic feel. So didn't get hacked. That's a great question, Nohia. Didn't want to get hacked. We didn't get hacked. We are actually just proactively reaching out to folks to make sure that they know everything that they need to know about what's available, what isn't available, and that sort of thing. Because it was, admittedly, I was getting behind. My day would start at 6 a.m. and it was kind of planning out my day. And then my kids are up at 6:30. And then off, getting them ready for school, and then into my, then talking with my PM guys, and then into my office all day long until 5:30 or 6. I come out, I eat dinner, spend time with my kids, get them in bed, reach back out to all the contractors, and then spend some quality time with my wife. And then after that, it was whatever was left over was spent on getting this product, hunting this piece down, getting that for this project, and then spending some time on the social media stuff. Not a whole lot of time, as you guys have seen. I just want to be able to get more time to you guys. And there was too much of a gap with all that we were trying to launch and basically get ready in February. And so January, I just looked and got some help to help extend myself. And so no hack, great question. No hack. It really is me or one of my team reaching out. So yeah, I appreciate you asking. Robert Farinelli, good morning. Chris Wissing, good morning. Sammy Farho, good morning. Wealth building journey. Nah, this sounds more like retirement. Very good. Or do you have somebody messaging people on IG? Yes, both. It's both. Ken Wheeler, new old guy to the group. Good morning from California. I know. Good. Hey, Ken, how are you? Same question. They seem a bit spammy. Good question. So for my team, if you're watching this, you're a bit spammy. Don't be spammy. They are actually real people. I didn't do an AI bot. I didn't do any of that stuff. I don't like that stuff. I actually work in that. Market. And they laugh at me. They're like, why aren't you using tech? And I was like, because I like people. So apologize if it feels spammy. It was the best intent on our part, where we just wanted to be able to reach out to people and get to everybody. And I couldn't get to everybody. Ethan Wood, retired. Yes, sir. Frank Contreras. Yep. Bakersfield, California. Yep. Hey, Chesela. Good morning. Congrats. Thank you very much. It does sound like retirement. I still thought Millennial Mike might beat him. Rob, you're the worst gambler in the world. Then I'm old. Mike's young. Mike's playing the young man game. I'm old. Yeah. Forget about that. Coster. Good morning. Good morning. Frank Contreras. I knew Santa Cruz. I didn't know you were near Santa Cruz, Frank. Santa Cruz is beautiful. Yeah. I worked with a couple companies just outside of Santa Cruz for a number of years. So every time I would go, I would try to stay in Santa Cruz. That was tough though. T, good morning. Good to have you here. Sam, thanks for the well wishes, and same with Landlord Odyssey. Yes, retired. Santa Cruz, Watsonville. Yep. Different. It's like a different country. Welcome to retirement. Now plan on working your butt off. I know. Well, thankfully we got the business already set up. So what's most important to me is really being able to spend a lot more time with my kids. I'm blessed to have had I have a 6-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 14-week-old. And so my wife is absolutely spectacular and amazing. Some of you know her because she did some stuff on the channel, but she's absolutely fantastic. Amazing woman, amazing wife, and couldn't be more thrilled that we've done coming up on 18 years together. Now I really feel old, but 18 years together. And it's been a blast, and she's done amazing job, making up for where I couldn't be available. And so that's why I really said it was a Valentine's Day. That was my last day. That is my last day, Valentine's Day. And it's to give back to my wife, give back to my kids. And, they've been patient. My kids know most of the time not to talk to me when I'm on the phone, because I like to try and walk around. So at least I'm there. But yeah, it's just a huge blessing, and excited to finally be here. So thank you for all the congratulations, Elise and Robert, Mandy, and All Nighter, Frank, Luke Devine, Karen Molnar, Josh Coster, Julie Anderson, Laura Samaniego, All Nighter Hyder, Kenny A, William Roberts, Angel R. Thank you. Well deserved. I appreciate that. Don't worry, Dan can now send them to Millennial Mike. Exactly. And he's talking about the Pink Panther meme. That's what Dan used to send me to remind me that I was spending more time away from my kids. Phil Nealon, Brett Biesbauer, Keith Hager. Really appreciate you guys. Angel R, Martina. Thank you so much. Took you a while to spit out those words. May your retirement be everything you wished it would be. It did. It was honestly, guys, I wouldn't say anything to anybody beforehand because I needed to make sure I was going to follow through. Truthfully, swear to you, it's hard saying bye to a 26-year career, even when you think you're financially ready. Still so challenging. And there's more time. There's still more things to do there. But I eventually had to call it and say, if I stay, I have to stay for 3 more years. And it just, for me, that didn't feel like a fit at that point. All of my kids were going to be in school. I will have missed out on a lot of or seen them much less before they got into school. And so just made the decision that now is the better time because I can get a lot more of those years with them before school. It is a major decision for sure. Robert Farinelli, thank you. All-nighter hider Matt wore a badge, came to his retirement notice. Yeah. Yeah. Badge cam. Yes. Karen Monard, those bonds won't change. My closest friends are the ones I met at work. Yep. With no longer work together, friends for 20 plus years. So happy for you. Thank you, Karen. Yeah, that's exactly right. The Yoder, congratulations. That is awesome. I'm so excited for you and your family. It's 40 degrees and sunny. I'll be back in Futureland to finish. Again, congratulations. Thank you very much, Yoder. Brett, congrats. Michelle, congrats. Congrats to Michelle. She sold something on a 1031 after a very long and arduous process. And she's already identified the next property. So, Michelle, I'm excited to watch your journey continue to unfold. REI Stoners. Yes, sir. Yep, that's the news. Fire and Ice. I'm busier than I ever been. We're in retirement. Don't know how I get it all done. Fire and Ice. That is true. That is true. I expect there to certainly be some of that. I've looked at the schedule already and I'm like, I literally said to my wife, I go, all right, I got to slow down. I don't need to go from double full-time to double full-time just doing other stuff. So already did that. Booger Floyd Boy, if you enjoy where you work, then it's not work. Congrats. That's true. I enjoyed what I do. And sometimes I enjoyed where I worked. Matt will have to start WoW raids. I'm not doing World of Warcraft. That is not on the plate. Luke Devine, you and Dion should start a gaming channel with all that time. No, I will not. I will not. I don't need new things to obsess about. I'm going to obsess about my kids. Man, they just got a whole new level of interest from Dad. Richard Camino, great morning, Matt, and everyone. Thank you, Richard. You as well. CJ, huge congrats. Can't wait to celebrate in Vegas. Can't wait to continue to follow in your footsteps. The bathroom reno is wrapping up. Thank you again. We'll post pics when complete. Very awesome. CJ actually brought me in to do some consulting with him on his bathroom remodel. The way that we do that is I actually have you guys turn the camera on the space. We start doing measurements. We start looking through it. We start looking at where, we literally go through the entire space and just say, this is what the best use of this is. This is going to be the least expensive, the most effective. This is the best value. So we will actually post that video. It's a half-hour consultation. Yes, I make you get a block of hours because I need to make sure that I have enough time to follow through and do anything. And then obviously if we have more questions than that, we can certainly do it. But yeah, I'm so excited for that. CJ, that's great. I'm looking forward to the pictures. Millennial Mike, last W2 working Avenger. Well, to Mike's credit, he's also the youngest by over a decade. So I wouldn't shine on him too hard there. Corby Carter, morning, everyone. Hyder, congrats on the purchase. I'm in a new location, still deployed. And congrats, Matt. Thank you very much, Corby. I appreciate that. Yeah, congratulations to Hyder. I love seeing guys get on the property ladder, and Hyder is now on the ladder. He's an investor, everybody. Robert Fernelli, it's not that I hate what I do for a job. It's the corporate BS and being forced to do it 40 plus and meet a certain unknown standard. And if I don't, I go homeless. Yes. Yeah. Corporate America, right? Fire Nice. Biggest expense is healthcare insurance. It's absolutely ridiculous. Oh, trust me. I'm a planner and it is absolutely ridiculous. Try having had the history that we have. And I know they have to kind of generally say they price it for everybody, but long story short is it's extremely expensive. Blittiger Fart Boy, how many times more do you make in real estate versus your W-2? I won't say, but it's more. It's more. It's more. Yeah. Yep. It's more. And I was an executive, so I was pretty well paid. Well, what's the right words of saying that? I had a salary that was below what the value was that I brought. So yeah. Um, Anna K, I'm excited to find all your new different experience in REI in your new chapter. Me too, Anna K. There's lots to be done. Robert Farinelli, I may be able to tolerate not having free time, but losing 20 plus in a year due to bad tenants wants to make me quit. I get it, my man. I totally get it. I totally get it. I totally get it. Those first 5 years, like we talk about all the time, those first 5 years are really, really hard. And that's why they're hard. You know, my job paid for a number of things that came up that were emergencies, right? Even when you save the emergency fund, but when when you have, six tenants and two of them stop paying, 33% are not paying. And that means you're losing money and you're bringing money to the table. So I totally get it. It's hard. It's a hard journey. And that's why the trolls on the internet never understand. It's not just your money, your credit, your down payment. It's not just that. It's all the work that goes on thereafter, because they can't change a light bulb. And then you get a call saying, I can't change a light bulb. Rob, does that mean Matt's old truck can retire too? So that is the question. I don't know. I have a couple of trucks, but they're used for the business. So I don't know. I don't know what I'll drive. I haven't figured that out yet. Wealth Building Journey, hit the like button. Thank you. T, congratulations. I hope to get there one day. T, there's no doubt in my mind you will. I see, you're here absorbing this every weekend. You're listening to multiple voices. You're doing the work. You're getting invested. Congratulations on your third deal. I know that you said that in the boot camp that I did with Mike Zuber a couple weeks ago. So T, you're well on your way. You're well on your way. Wow, Corby Carter. Happy Valentine's Day to Matt, his family, and us. Agreed. Thank you, sir. And just because Millennial Mike's super chat was so generous, I'll read it again. A very special super chat to remind you that you're no longer being effed by a W-2. Congrats, Big Stud. Can't wait to celebrate in Vegas. Best part of the retirement throwdown. I'm shocked. Let's just suffice to say that I told Mike a little bit more about the story, and the people I gave notice to, they were shocked. Keith Hager, Vegas party? Absolutely. We're going to be there for 2 days. And I couldn't be more excited to not have to look back and have other stuff to do, honestly, to really be away and not have to think about work and clients and making sure that people had stuff that they needed for their deliverables. So I have worked because I was a dropout. Like I said, I was a 9th grade dropout. So I have worked full-time plus since I was 14. And yeah, for those labor standards people, you get there by working for multiple people. That's how you do it. And you homeschool. That's how you do it. And so I was working, 3 or 4 jobs and getting to 60, 70 hours a week as a 14-year-old because I was super high functioning and I could get my work done as well. And so I enjoyed it. Don and Bev Perkins, congrats, Matt. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Wealth Building Journey. Wonder what's the significance of the 69? Yeah, I wonder what that is too. I think it might have something to do with the job getting it over on me. I don't know. Maybe. Ask Mike. That's a good question. Year of Woodstock. I don't know. I don't listen to any of that music. Laser Focus Solutions Media. Hello to all you fine people out there. Good to see you back. It's been a while. Happy to see you. Let's see. Master Coach. Yep. With a super chat. When you leave the mothership, you finally have the time to and impetus to build your own. Thankfully, I have a couple, so it'll be good. What toys are you going to buy? Says Julie Anderson. I don't know. In all honesty, what I'm really focused on is the development project with the police station / jail. I'm really focused on that. And then I've got a 5 unit. You guys are going to see me. I don't know if I'll be doing lives out of the 5 unit. Yeah, I probably will. I'll probably be doing lives at least once a week out of the 5 unit. So you guys see the progress and we'll literally walk floor to floor and you'll hear my panting and wheezing as I roll up through those stairs. But yeah, we'll definitely be doing that and rolling through those properties. Fire and Ice. Congrats. I don't know about you, but I was met with shock and begging to stay on. So shock. Yes. The begging part was non-existent. And it was non-existent for a reason. I'm really blessed that I know it was time to move on. Yeah. I've had executive roles a number of times in my career. And there's a certain formula to those relationships that turn into amazing success. And then when you don't have that, you can imagine what the outcome is. Let's hit the Rolex store at Caesars. CJ, yes. 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 CJ, yes. Yep. Yep. Done. We also got to hit the pawn shops too. I don't know if the one in Caesars carries more than Rolex. I hope they do. Usually the Rolex store that I've gone to has been the one in the Bellagio, but admittedly, I'm not a huge Rolly guy. Not a huge Rolly guy. There's a couple of watches that they make that I really like, but most of the time I have super big forearms and big wrists too. And so a lot of that, like the date justs and the day dates and the Oyster Perpetuals, a lot of that stuff doesn't really fit. It's too small, like the 36 millimeter, way too small a watch for me. So yeah, but done. Good. Holy crap, that's right. 1969 was Woodstock. It's not me. Millennial Mike, yes, good laughs. G Lover, hello everyone. Hello, G Lover. I know it's Glover, but I've always thought it was G Lover. So good to have you here, my friend. Congratulations. Aloha from Hawaii. Thank you, Mark. I really appreciate that. All Nighter Hider. That's 1 reasonable month and 16 unreasonable months for a heavy metal lead. That's true. Did I hear a reference to a Heckinger earlier? I don't know what that is. I have to look it up. Now I got to look it up. See what you guys make me do? You make me curious. So Heckinger. It's pretty tough to get something that I don't understand, like the reference to Heckinger. Oh, headquartered in Landover, America. See, now I know it was a localized thing. Got it. Got it. Okay, now I understand. Heckinger. Now I got it. See, it was a localized thing. That's why I was gone. Ryan Husser. Congrats, Matt. Can't wait to see you in Vegas. Ryan, I'm excited to see you guys. I'm excited to see everybody in Vegas. Very, very excited to see all you guys in Vegas. I will be around for all the networking events. I will be there for all of it. I really want to spend time with everybody. If you completed the Lumberjack Landlord Bootcamp, I have a surprise for you. And so make sure, I will have my list. Make sure that you come and see me if you completed the Lumberjack Landlord Bootcamp. Vanrith, you? Congrats. Thank you very much. Robert Fernelli, someone told me that there are new lead requirements from EPA and that I should sell everything or I'm going to lose everything. I mean, that's a little bit overdrawn. They still only have the same size group to enforce that they had maybe 10 years ago. It's still about a 6 or 8 person team. That's it. They cap out at about 300 units a year. So the issue is in New Hampshire, you have something like 81,000 buildings. So it's something crazy. It's like almost 20,000 in Manchester. It's almost 20,000 in Nashua. But because it's such an old area, almost everything has the presence of lead paint. And so if you are let me tell you this, if you own any buildings younger than 1979, you must take this course. And if you're already in the Lumberjack course, like I said, it's free. If not, it's something you can buy separately. But you must take this course. You must. You have no idea what you are up against, what you are in for, what the process is. They will tell you 4 to 6 months. Mine literally started August of 2022. And we are just getting the tenant moved in this weekend in February of 2024. Those are the actual numbers. Those are the actual numbers. So legitimately, it's coming up on 18 months. Yeah. So like I said, if you're in the course, it's free. If you're not in the course, you can buy it separately or decide that you want to become an elite landlord and you want to learn that. John, Texas, congrats. Very inspiring. I'm glad, John, Texas. I share that with the community because I know that this is the day that we celebrate for each other, right? It's the day that we celebrate where it's like, hey, we got on the proper ladder. That's a big day for all of us. Hey, we've expanded our business. Big day for all of us. Hey, I finally have enough that I can move on. Massive, massive day. Key, thank you very much. Did Matt just say he likes people? I mean, people in the trenches with me, love them. Otherwise, I'm throwing you out of the trench and and you don't get to stay. You don't get to stay unless you fight. Key, good morning. Congrats. Thank you very much. John Williams, congrats. Almost beat the 45,619. Yeah, so it's 46,6 something. So it was about a year later. About a year later that I moved on. Mike went out in a blaze of glory. I went out with, generally speaking, a whimper. But mine was a very planned, very, very, very planned. Mike, I think, had to go back and go, crap, can I really do this? We didn't have to do that. Ours was very, very focused. Laser Focus Solutions, congratulations. Thank you. Good morning, Ninja Vanish. Thank you very much. Terry Flood, congrats, Matt. Wish I could celebrate with you and the rest of the Orat family in Vegas, but I'm a hockey coach and we're still in season. Terry Flood, my man, I understand that completely. Sam started skating this year. He's just not on the team yet. So he started skating this year. And so we had to get a bunch of stuff ready. And so I'm very excited because next year I think he'll be playing some team sports, which I'm excited about. And then there goes all my retirement. Keith Hager, Crystal Ball says you'll be deep sea fishing soon. So I don't like deep sea fishing. I don't like seafood. And so, and tuna fishing is huge here. So is lobster fishing. I used to lobster fish for the workout. As you can tell, I haven't done it for a while. But lobster fishing is a blast. Yeah. Yeah. It's a good time. Chris Webb, hey Matt, I just got back from church. Does this mean you are moving to Vegas? So it doesn't mean I'm moving to Vegas yet. We're still shopping in Vegas, but it does mean that I will be restoring my trips to Vegas on higher regularity. In fact, we're going out there for the Orat celebration, and then we're going to do some time vacationing with family and all that good stuff. Yeah. Fire Nice, just filled out my first commercial load sheet for the power company on the 4 family we just purchased. Congratulations. That is fun. That's a fun activity. For those of you who don't know, when you actually are doing a major rehab on a 4 unit or a larger building, you actually have to fill out a big, huge sheet to the power company where you said, here's what all the expected loads are. Now you have to have those conversations with your electrician. You have to be talking about, do you want a 400 amps worth of service or 600 amps worth of service? Because then you break that down on the number of meters that you have. So I'll actually be showing you that at my project because we're going to do a 600 amp service into the building because we have 5 units. And a house panel, and we have some bigger stuff on the house panel. We want to have the capacity. And so we will have 6 100 amp services for the 5 unit that we're doing. So we'll take you through that, be a big time educational stuff that we'll be doing. And we'll actually have it'll be on the same channel, but it will have like its own times where we actually specifically do that stuff. A video from you and Dion vacationing somewhere tropical would be fire. No one wants to see that, Angel. Nobody. There is high likelihood if I went scuba diving with Dion, there is high likelihood I get harpooned. So we are not going to go down that path. And yeah, to anything down there, I look really delicious. Yeah. Yep. I'm sure on the inside, I'm finely marbled. So yeah, we're not going to do that. James Welsh, Matt, have you ever won President's Club? I did. Wife just won her first in pharma. Congratulations. I'm so proud of her. I'd rather get her more excited to buy rentals instead of work 60 hours a week for a 4-day trip. So little brief, we'll do a quick 30 seconds on this. Yes. So working for corporate companies, I worked for a Fortune 1000 company. I was President's Club 7 years in a row. I was the only one in the history of the company to do it. And I did 3 years at President's Round Table. President's Club, for those of you who don't know, if you've never worked in a high pressure environment, They basically take the top performers when you hit your quota and exceed and all the other marks that you need to hit that they deem out at the beginning of the year. Here's what it is. At the end of the year, they take you on an all expenses paid trip as a thank you, but it's for getting to your quota. When you get to President's Golden Circle, such a dumb name. What it basically was a table that they would set up with a gold, like pretty thing. And it was the top rep in each division. And so it was literally the president of the company, of a Fortune 1000 company. It's the president of the company, and it was usually 6 or 7 reps. And then our wives or husbands, and then a couple of the other executives. And they would they would thank us, and they would talk about, what that meant to them. It was kind of cool. Dumb name, but kind of cool. And then they would get some of your feedback on what the company was doing, and you'd get some of that feedback and some FaceTime with, people that are, at that point I was a rep. And so they were 7 layers higher than me. I mean, but yeah, President's Club and President's Golden Circle. Yeah. So yes, congratulations to her. I know exactly how hard it is to get there. But yeah, for the companies that ever I've never was at a company that had it that I didn't go. I qualified every time. My best, so James, you can tease your wife a little bit if she's there watching with you. I'm sorry. My best year ever, I did 547% of my number. My best year, 547% of my number. That was a really good paycheck. Neil, congrats. Thank you, Neil. I appreciate that. Would love a video today comparing a typical deal today versus the S&P. Cash flow appreciation pay down is great, but not sure how close without the cash flow. Appreciation is so you're exactly right, Neil. I can save you. Don't even have to do the video. The appreciation piece is nothing I ever invest for. I invest specifically for cash flow, and then look at the structure, right? Just the sheer structure. I invest for cash flow. I invest for the depreciation. I can't get that on the S&P 500. And anytime I'm in the S&P 500, they're not paying me a dividend. Some of the individual stocks do, but the S&P 500 doesn't pay me a dividend. So you can take your profits in the end of the year and reinvest them, but it's not a dividend. I get income every single year from these properties, and my balance gets paid down. So if you look, what is the best asset per the tax code? The absolute best asset by far per the tax code is one thing. It's investment property. That's why 90% of people that are millionaires are property investors. They're tied together, guys. How does the government pay off its debt cheaper? They inflate. And so when they inflate, what does that mean? It means that the dollars that they're paying it off with are worth less. So over a 3-year period, let's say we had 5 and 4 and 3%, inflation. So that's 12%. Let's say, as an example, we owe a country, I mean, there's a few of them out there, that we owe almost $1 trillion to. When we're paying that debt back, we're paying it back with a 12% discount because our dollars are worth less. That's pretty good. It's the same thing when you get 30-year fixed rate debt on the assets that you're borrowing. I know this is pure gold in the middle of a video that only 77 people are watching, but this is pure gold for people. Think about it. I'm getting 30-year fixed rate debt. My taxes will go up a little. My water bills will go up a little. My maintenance will go up a little, but it won't go up nearly as much as rents will go up over that time. So I had properties where my budget, right? My budget on the property was, with mortgages, insurance, and taxes and everything all in, it was $2,100 or $2,200. At that point, the property made 20%. Well, that number now is like $2,300 or $2,400 based on tax increases and insurance increases and et cetera. So let's call it 25. So it's up $400 in a 10-year period. If you look at that being up $400 in a 10-year period, what did the rents do in that 10-year period? They didn't go up 20%. The rents in that period went up 100%. So do you see, when you own that small multifamily and you're house hacking as an example, which is what I love, as you continue to look at it, the return on your capital is insane. Every year, your margin improves. You might get the hit because there was one big year for insurance or because you had to do a roof. But again, you're taking that out of your emergency fund. You're taking that out of your maintenance fund. The idea here is that these assets far outperform the S&P just based on structure. You look at the S&P and you say, well, that's doubled in 10 years or tripled in 10 years since the great crash. Well, I've had property that tripled, right? The difference is I didn't have a write-off with the S&P. I did have a write-off with my asset. I can still sell my asset today, but my asset every single month has given for me. Now look at the numbers that I make on what my cost basis is, right? My cost basis is $2,500 a month. My rents are $6,000. So now I'm making $3,500 a month. I don't care how big your investment is on the S&P, right? That same dollar for dollar investing in small multifamily is going to dwarf what you're going to make in the S&P. And there's all of these crazy, amazing tax benefits. Like, that's the gold. The gold is, why does everybody want to be different when you can become wealthy doing the same? 90% of people that invest in real estate, 90% of them are millionaires, or 90% of the millionaires invest in real estate. 90% of the millionaires got there by investing in real estate. I'm not Bill Gates. I'm not Mark Zuckerberg. I've got some pretty cool ideas, but it's going to take millions of dollars to implement. And then it's a gamble. And then will I get that return? Maybe, maybe not. At the end of the day, if 90% of people got wealthy doing real estate investment, yeah, I'm going to do that because there's much less risk. That's just the smart way to approach life, in my belief. All-nighter hider, it really should be stated more often. Being here and in the community with consistency is really great for the REI mindset. All the shared info and wins are good for the soul. That's exactly why we do this. That's exactly why I won't miss a Sunday with you guys. If I miss a Sunday, something bad happened. And it was just like a property thing, something, it's never for something fun for me. I take this very, very, very seriously because we all need to be sharing these experiences together. It's hard. There are difficulties. There are absolutely challenges in being a landlord, whether it's a tenant. I had a tenant blowing me up this morning. And I'm like, dude, I didn't throw you out. Your roommates threw you out and you have a roommate agreement. That's not my problem. That's not my problem. That's your problem. Now, I have to figure out some of the ramifications of that. I got to talk to the attorney again tomorrow about it and waste some of my time because he's a pinhead. But way it goes. But this isn't easy. It's straightforward. It's a lot of work, but it's per unit gets less and less and less as you make it through your journey. That's really the key. As you make it through your journey, it becomes less and less. Wealth building journey. Some numbers for you, lumberjack landlord. I'm ready. 600K purchase price. 7.5 all in. It's 4435. Recovery at 5 rooms. Oh, 7.5, 7 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms. Recovery at 5 rooms is 887. At 4 is 1108. Have to look at average area rents, but this would be on a per room basis. Curious what your initial thoughts are on this. Potential deal or no. From initial number at first glance, it's a full remodel. So what I would tell you is you have to make sure that the zoning is there in place for this type of a rental. They can get really, really particular on what type of projects you're doing in what areas. If you have neighbors, they're probably not going to like all the coming and going of 7 different people in a place. Then it becomes a parking issue. Do you have enough parking? So I would do rent by the room. But what you're likely going to need to do is give a person a discount to really kind of be a house manager. The better bet is if you're going by the individual room, the better bet is doing something like, like a sober house, because those businesses like that exist. You can look at opening up your own business. But also there's businesses like that, or they're always looking for additional units. And so that's what I would look at. If you kind of in for a penny, in for a pound, right? So I won't steal Millennial Mike's thunder, but he's going to share with you guys the difference between a long-term rental, short-term rental, and what's considered a mid-term rental. He's going to share with you guys the numbers, and I think it's going to blow your minds. I think it's going to be such a big difference that So it's not a deal that I say no to. It's a deal that I just maybe try and do a little bit differently and make sure I understand that that type of zoning is allowed for that type of house where you can rent out by the room. If it's a college thing, then the biggest thing is having 7 roommates get together. That's a challenge, right? Usually our limit's 4 or 5, but those would be the things that I would look at there, Chester. Neil, focus on your health now. You're good for money, gym, diet, trainer, get all medical exams, imaging before leaving. So Neil, not that fast in our states, but yeah, done all that stuff. When you get older, when you get to my age, you kind of got to do that stuff. And so, yep, did all that stuff, but yeah, now we'll have time for a real life. Because yeah, spend a lot of time in the other stuff. Booger Fart Boy, what were your check marks in place to pull the plug? Good question, Booger Fart Boy. Great question, as always. So the biggest ones, and that's okay, Wealth Building Johnny and the Heckinger thing. It's okay. I was able to Google it, and then I was like, now I don't know why it was. It was a local thing, which is totally cool. That's how I learn. So check marks in place to pull the plug. Multiple of income, like Deanna and I talk about, right? So it's having the multiple of income. It was having heavy reserves. I have big reserves. That was a big part of it. Big enough. The multiple of the income. His was 4 or 5. Mine was 4. So we've got what we need. So ours is 4. But I'll go out there and I'll do $1 million project and I'll need to spend a year rehabbing the building so I get no rents and I'm spending money. Dion hasn't really done a whole lot of that. He's done it on this one, but I think he bought the place for cash and then he's been funding the rehab, which is so much fun. And then you can try and, kind of refi out at the end if you choose to. So the big things for me were ready here and ready here. And what that meant was, was I really moving on to something else, which is, I get to spend more time with my kids. Now's the time. Want to spend more time with my kids. 4x the income, a big heavy base of savings there that's not invested. It's there and it's available to us. And then some other ancillaries, some other ancillary accounts, like, a couple retirement accounts, things like that. So it was really just mentally, emotionally ready. It was, financially ready. And that was basically it. Kind of looking at what our typical monthly spend was. I've got a pretty good accurate grab on what that is. And so I needed to make sure I had, 4x the income. We also have a couple transactions that are going to come in the next 60 to 90 days. We have a couple assets that we're going to sell. They are assets that we chose not to refi, but they're single family homes. They don't make a ton of profit. After we refi them, they wouldn't make a ton of profit. So at this point, it's the right thing to do to just sell them off and take the money and then have that sitting there ready for the next big project that comes along. It's also having conversations with a couple of my banks, letting them know that I was planning on retiring. Hey, is this going to change anything with our relationship? Are there any things that we need to look at now while I'm still retired, while I'm still working? And both conversations were like, nope, you're good. You're on solid footing. You're in good shape. Nothing we're concerned about. We can still do deals with you. That was a big question. Can you still do deals with me? They're like, yeah, so long as the book stays basically like it is. Yeah, you're fine. We can still do deals together. So from that perspective, that's actually a big thing that helped. Potato Man, what's up, Potato Man? Welcome here. Corby Carter, I completed the boot camp. Is Zoom an acceptable method to come see you? Yeah. Yes, I will. It's something physically I'm going to give people. So Corby, we'll connect with everybody. Kind of what I'm going to do is after the boot camp, after everybody has theirs, then I'll take care of everybody that wasn't there. Luke Devine, did being unemployed become something to brag? When did being unemployed become something to brag about? That's exactly right. And I told Millie and Mike, I said, hey, Mike, I appreciate the big super chat because we talked about it yesterday. He goes, dude, I'm going to give you this big super chat. Didn't tell me everything, but, and I said, well, I really appreciate that. I'm on a fixed income and heaven knows YouTube doesn't pay anything. So there's that. Jesse Mao, congrats. Thank you very much, Jesse. I appreciate that. And Folk Fitness, thank you very much. I appreciate the congratulations. Yeah, he's ripped. It's huge. You can see his picture right here. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Yeah, dude, you're huge. I had under 10% body fat when I was 19. And then I got a job. I got a real job. Yeah. Angel R. If you move to Vegas, will you still self-manage your rentals back home? Yes, I will still self-manage, but I won't hire a property management firm. I have an employee now. And so largely he's doing a lot of the turnovers and things like that. We've got an agent that we use. That's kind of one of the things that we teach in the course is basically how to self-manage and act like you have a property manager, but not actually have a property manager. Now, the idea is we're able to reduce the cost of having your property managed by the things that we teach in the course. I can't cover it, guys, because it's literally 2 hours of the course. But all these things that we teach, documentation of unit and properly marking your assets and all of these types of things, these are all things that we actually do in the course. The idea is it drastically reduces the amount of drag that it takes to manage your business because so many of these things are pre-done, thus making it a lot easier to have a handyman instead of a real property manager actually have to either you're paying, 7, 8, 9, 10% to plus a month's rent. Like you end up becoming the person who makes the least amount of money every month on your property when you actually have a property manager. You literally make the least. Your contractors usually make more. Your property managers usually make more. The way that we set it up was we wanted to continue to expand and grow as a business. And so instead of giving up, tens of thousands of dollars a month, we hired for a role, have a couple contractors that we bring in, but I manage those guys through the process, what the projects are, what we're working on. It was better for him to make him an employee based on, how we could treat him as an employee, with housing allowances and all this other good stuff that we do for them. But he's amazing. He earns it. He earns it every single week. Amazing worker. Kenny is fantastic. I love working with him. We literally have moments where just like, I'm so glad we work together. And so he's great. He's great. But, for the foreseeable future, and even past the foreseeable future, we're going to continue to work together. But I was at the volume where I could afford an employee and it was a fraction the price of hiring a PM. But you can do the same thing by properly doing all the things we talk about in that couple hours of the course, and then just having a couple handymen. You can get by with most of what you need from a handyman perspective when you've done the things that we teach in the course. SK, congrats, Matt. Joined late. Did you just leave? Just move on from your W-2? I did, sir. I know you were on the fence. What made you pull the trigger? What made me pull the trigger was family, my kids, where they are in life, knowing that if I stayed there, it was really going to need to be 3 years to finish what I start. So I kind of got them started off on the path because I'm a big strategy guy. So I started them off on the path. And that's, most of what I was paid for. I was paid to be an elite sales guy and an elite strategist with products. And so from our perspective, or from my perspective, I really know how to build brands and how to build and how to show value to clients. And I'm the fastest one to walk away. I'm just like, we're not aligned. This isn't going to fit. We're going to spend a month of Sundays trying to work together and it's not going to work. For my job, that's what I'm talking to clients. I will say no to a client if I don't think it's a fit. For my clients or for my job, it was I could get them down the path, but to really bring this plan to fruition, it's going to be a 3-year plan. And so my idea was, I don't know if I want to do this for 6 more months or 12 more months or 18 more months. And I said, but I knew I didn't want to do it for 3 years. And so that's where the decision came from me, where I said, you know what, everything else, we can just double check, make sure everything else is in place. But yeah, it's time to move on. T, is a boot camp good for someone that doesn't have any property yet? So so you guys definitely put, you guys should definitely put in here if you owned no property and you took the boot camp and you found if it was helpful. I'd like you to hear it, T, from people. But yeah, the feedback from students so far is I don't own anything, but now I definitely am going in eyes wide open. And I can better manage even if I'm small. We have a lot of people that if they have none, they might have one, they might have two. We have some that have 15 or 20, but for the most part, it's smaller. We had a couple of investors that had 50 to 70 units. For them, I saved them $5,000 a month by the time they were finished the boot camp. That's where the money just rains, right? The bigger you are, the more impact it has. But then if you're listening, you can set it up properly to build out your infrastructure and the architecture of the business to make sure you're in solid position to really be able to expand. There were things that I was doing that didn't allow me to expand the fastest and best way I could expand. This is a lot of the stuff that I talk about that helps that. So yeah, T, to that question, but there will be other people that can definitely answer. Neil, scuba, less finely marbled jokes, more workouts. Yeah, no, that was a funny joke, Neil. Yep, that was a funny joke. I'll stand by that joke. Yep, definitely. And workouts, yeah, sure, of course. You have to make, for some people that's the most important thing to them, and for others it's not. And so while some have six packs, I have a keg. I pick things up and I put them down. I could never run fast. But yeah, I'm excited to be able to just live a more full life. I 50 hours a week that went to my W-2. I now have 50 hours a week to live a more full life. I can do more kid drop-offs. I can do more kid pickups. Can't do a pickup at 3:00 in the afternoon when you work till 5:30. And I could do some drop-offs. But yeah, so I'm just excited to live a more full life because I don't have to go to a W-2 that pays me for my time. Richard Trong, congrats, Lumberjack. Thank you, Richard. I appreciate that. Hyder loves scuba diving. It's like slowly, weightlessly flying underwater and is very relaxing. See, I hope to just fly. Ned Tux, I'm just going to jump down and do this this one. Congrats on shedding those golden handcuffs, sir. Thank you, Ned. A good career and a good job is hard to say bye to, but you earned it. Glad you didn't get stuck needing a larger and larger paycheck like so many I know. Ned speaks the truth, man. Ned speaks the truth. I know a lot of people that are executives that can't walk away from their job because of their lifestyle. Guys, it's freedom. I don't have to do what somebody tells me to do tomorrow. Well, tomorrow I do, but not in 2 weeks or not in 10 days. And it's just freedom. It's freedom. It's freedom to be able to do whatever I want with my day. If I want to take my kids to school or pick them up, or I have one daughter that's only in school 3 days a week. I can still take a day with her. That was the big thing for me is I could still be such a huge part of my kids' lives, and I want to spend more time sewing into them, teaching them the business, so even if it's just going on site and checking out the progress on something and seeing how it is, my daughters at 18 are going to have more construction experience than anybody, their age. And likely they'll be able to run a business better than anybody by 20. And so it's constantly building into those concepts, right? Everyone wonders why, the kid's under an iron thumb before he goes to college, and he goes to college and he goes nuts. Yeah, there's a reason. There's a reason how that works. And so I want to give my kids responsibility earlier on. I want to think through problems with them. I want to teach them how to think, not what to think. And so if I can teach them how to figure things out, that's really intelligence quotient. And then I need to get better at, I'm okay at it, but emotional quotient, getting them to be higher functioning people. And so, yeah, from that perspective, could I stay? Could I have made more money? Could I have continued to help it grow? Could I have been there for the 3-year plan? Yes, yes, and yes. And I still wouldn't have been 50 yet. I'm just in the position now where I think the better use of my time is making sure that my kids have every opportunity in this world to become elite. And that's not by giving them things. That's by sharing with them, teaching them, showing them, and giving them experiences that other kids are never going to have. So that's my goal. Ben Fopel just bought the course yesterday. Super happy to be on board. Just pending approval. Awesome, Ben. Sorry that you weren't automatically approved. That's actually one of the issues that we're going through with this upgrade. So you will absolutely see that. I'm meeting with the company tomorrow. You should be good to go. Thank you for letting me know. Always, 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 guys, let me know. Technology lets me down consistently. So absolutely always let me know. Angel R. Hey, Matt, would you suggest changing perfectly working mortise locks to cylinder locks? How do you feel about chain lamps in bedrooms? Appreciate your insight. Chain lamps in bedrooms, no. I'm really more of a fixed light guy. Um, yeah, I'm more of a fixed light guy. But chain lamps can be a thing if that's like a design element that you want to add. Mortise locks versus cylinder locks. I mean, I guess if the mortise lock like just isn't working well and you just need to upgrade it, I mean a lot of times those can just be taken apart and put back together, and it might just be like, tired pieces on the inside, maybe a tired spring or something. But I'm not like I'm not anti, let's put it this way, I'm not anti that, and I'm also not pro that. A lot of times we will just try and fix what's there, especially if it's in like an antique door, and not getting rid of the thing. So yeah, that's usually, so we're not hard fast has to be replaced. We're let's open it up, let's see if it's an easy fix, and if it is, cool, we'll fix it, because then that saves us having to do a bunch of door repair and get a new lock in there. But yeah, those are my thoughts on it. Wealth building journey. Speaking of depreciation, the House of Representatives passed a bill last week, reintroduced 100% bonus depreciation. Bob Langworthy. Yes, I spoke with Bob on Friday. Spoke with Bob on Friday. Hey guys, it's almost like the tax code that's in place now is actually meant to encourage real estate investment. Who'd have thunk it? Well, for all you trolls out there on YouTube who think that we're the idiots for investing in real estate and we're taking things away from other people, look at what the government incents for people to do. They're incenting you as a citizen to do the same thing they're incenting us to do. We just are the ones willing to do the work to get that actually done. For what that's worth, the more you know. How's that for a commercial? All-nighter. I disagree. Being human and not being liable to taxes for that reason, the best asset for taxes. Yes. So Hyder lives a different way than we do, which is okay, which is good. I applaud it. USC 7701A1. You can look it up and see if you want to live that way. The wealth building journey. Ned talks. Yes. All-nighter. Hyder. Corporations qualify as a person. Neil, thanks for the detailed reply. Very welcome. Rob, if I miss a Sunday, it's because I went fishing. Don't I know it, Rob? Anna K, I know you are a fan of DIY cost seg. Yep. Main Bean Counter offered cost seg now. Yep. Zoomer made a video against DIY cost seg or DIY. Yeah. Sorry. He's just wrong. We don't disagree on a lot, but he's just flat out wrong. What is your experience so far on DIY cost seg? So here's the piece about DIY cost seg. And I would say to Zuber, do one. Go through the experience and see that they have almost 10,000 cost segs that they pull from for experience, and that they have never lost an audit. To me, that sends the answer. What I would tell you is, when you do cost segregation studies, they absolutely 100% open you up for an audit. They do. They absolutely do. It is a unique strategy, but it's totally legal. It is factually legal. The other thing about it is that what's really funny is people that think, oh, it's this wango fango way of doing depreciation. No, it's actually the correct way to do depreciation. When you naturally depreciate a house, you naturally depreciate it at 27 and a half years. That's actually incorrect. True story. That's actually incorrect. Why? Because if you submit all the appropriate info, it shows you the stuff that you can depreciate much faster than 27 and a half years, which is the majority of the property. So to file a tax return, just depreciating at 27.5%, it doesn't put a target on your back. Absolutely. In largely speaking, this has been my experience. However, when you do a cost seg, is there a high likelihood that you might get audited? Yeah, there is. So from our perspective, we're not aggressive. We just follow the rules based on what they allow for us to do. And we have the appropriate CPA and EA in place that allow us to manage that process. When we get a cost seg, it's about filling out the data that's on the tax card. That's what it is. We just use the government data to fill out the cost seg. So from my perspective, anybody that says cost seg is not smart, I'd love to understand what they think, why they think it isn't smart, because they're actually the ones depreciating their properties improperly, because the cost seg exists for a reason. Now, whether you become a real estate professional or not, that's a completely different story. But yeah, I saw that video from Zuber and I think I even said in the comments, I disagree because I still believe he's wrong. But we'll see. Again, from my perspective, I recognize that I might get audited. I totally understand that, but I don't do my taxes myself. I follow the rules. I put the data in where they asked me to put it in. And then if I'm that concerned, I buy audit protection from them on the cost seg. So then they fight with the IRS on the audit, right? That's the other thing I do. But when we send everything to Bob, in this case, Main Bean Counters, when we send everything to them, we're filling out everything. We're filling out everything as here were the expenses, here were the rehab costs, here were the rents, here was the profit, here are the accounts. We're putting all of that information just in an organized format. Tons of people get audited. Tons of people pay no money. It's because they look at it and say, oh, real estate professional, red flag to the IRS. Oh, cost segs, red flag to the IRS. There are little things that are red flags to the IRS. No one knows exactly what triggers an audit, because if everyone knew what that was, no one would ever do those things. However, DIY Cost Seg is a great company. I've worked with them. They've been fantastic. Number one. Number two is cost segs in general. I don't want to wait 6, 8, 10, 12 weeks and have it cost me $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for a cost seg, when all of the data that those people are going to do and enter in is all the data that's publicly available about my property already. That's what I enter in. So different strokes for different folks. But yeah, I mean, I have been audited before. Multiple times. It's happened. Dion's been audited before. Mike's been audited before. So if the whole idea is don't do something that gets you audited, well, we've all been audited before already anyway. You're going to get audited eventually, especially when you're investing in a way that 90% of people that are millionaires do it and get there because they invested in real estate. So from my perspective, I'm not going to yay, I got audited. What I am going to do is I'm going to say, I got audited and I have an accountant, I have an EA, I have a vendor that stands behind the cost segregation that was done. All my job is to input the data. So at the end of the day, it just is what it is. And we would go through the process. Like I said, we've been audited before. We stood through the process. If they find something was done incorrectly, then we pay. It's just that simple. The key for us is we're not being super aggressive on the path. We're not trying to do all these things to get these, write downs or fake write downs. We're really clean. We're really, really clean. So if something there was done improperly, fine, we'll pay it. No big deal. But that's the nice thing for us. If we ever had to send off our taxes, our tax return last year was 240 pages. Guys, 240 pages. It takes hundreds of hours of work to put that together. Hundreds of hours. No joke. Hundreds of hours to put that stuff together. And that's even when we're doing things on a monthly basis. It takes hundreds of hours to put them together. Well, all we do is enter the data that we have. And so if they find some inconsistency, they don't find an inconsistency and then they audit you. They audit you because of their belief that there's a high likelihood that there's an inconsistency. Two different things. So it is what it is. If I get audited, and I got to fix the problem if they find a problem. Wealth building journey. If 90% of all self-made millionaires made their millions through real estate, there must be something to real estate, almost like as an asset class. It protects well against inflation. That too. T, what's your thoughts on car vinyl wraps on cabinets? Never. Nope. Because it's so easy to damage. You're talking about knives around drawers and forks around drawers. I've seen it. Don't like it at all. I would much rather, honestly, T, in our Lumberjack Landlord Bootcamp, we give people access to buying high-end cabinets at wholesale price. It's not a way that I'm going to get rich. It's something that I want to do as a service to the real estate community, but we have to keep it small enough where if you're in the boot camp, you speak the language, you know what you're looking for. We've done a ton of kitchens. We're at, I think 30 or so in the last, few months. I just don't like it. And the reason that people look for these other shortcuts is because they don't want to spend 15,000 bucks on a kitchen. I get it. I'd say 90% of the kitchens that we do are for apartments, are under 5,000 bucks, under 5 grand. We just did a bunch for a big 20 unit building and they were less than 3,000 bucks a kitchen. There's a way to do it the right way and expensively. Let's see. Lumberjack landlord, you're about my age. Awesome. So you're old too. Ben Foble, congrats, Matt. Maybe you'll have some time to get 6 hours of sleep. I know someone's spoiling themselves on some sleep. Angel R, Matt, with the presence of blue patina corrosion on a copper pipe just before the water meter raise significant concerns for you, even if there are no leaks. So it wouldn't raise significant concerns, but I would be keeping an eye on it. And the way that I would do it is the next time that you have a plumber there at the house, have them look at it and just say, you know what, just change it out. Because the key is it's expensive if you have to call them out for it. If they're already there, that's not a big repair. It's not a big repair. Literally, it's shutting off the water, and then they would, find somewhere to drain, the lowest point of the drain line. They would drain the system, and then you make sure everything is off. You drain the system, and then you cut out that piece of pipe and replace it. And you do it with, me particularly, I like the Jaws compression fittings. Those are fantastic. The ones where they have all the tools that they use. Those are fantastic. Never had those leak after they were set on, and if they didn't leak when they put them on, they didn't leak thereafter. And that's when I make that change. But I do it. I have a plumber look at it when they're already out there. If I have that issue, because if it's turning that color, there's obviously something going on there, especially if you start to build up corrosion and things like that. It's small, to change something like that out with the plumber, with those cutters that they have, the parts like this coupling is probably $8 to $10, and their time to do it might take them 20 minutes. So you're talking about, spending 50, 60 bucks to take something out where you're like, nope, we fixed it. We know we're good there. Lytle, congrats. Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Master Coach University, the absolute best asset by far per tax code is investment property. That's why 90% of millionaires are property investors. Matt the Lumberjack Landlord. Thank you, Master Coach University. I appreciate that. I agree. All-nighter hider. Angel, that sounds like extra flux. Yep, that can be cleaned off with a wet rag or discoloration from brazing. The flux will continue to eat the copper if not cleaned. Yes. The problem that you'll often have is that's where you're going to pinhole leak. And the question is, if it's in your basement near your water main, guess what? Who's going to ever know about that? The problem is you're going to eventually get a letter from the city saying, hey, water hasn't shut off at your property in 24 hours or 48 hours or whatever. And then you just lost a lot more than that 60 bucks on what it would have cost to just take that out of the chain. So Hyder's absolutely factually correct. I just look at that sort of stuff and say, yeah, I can do that and I can update it. And the guy's already there doing another plumbing thing. Cut it, drain it, put the new piece in, repressurize. We're talking 20, 30 minutes and that job's done. Josh Burdick, if I have a W-2 and purchase another property, how soon after closing can I retire without causing an issue with the lender? Is there a clause to how long I must work when I get that loan? Not usually, unless it's something different to that loan. There's nothing there. The only thing that they might look at is so for us, we have a personal financial statement. I'll be getting mine done now and give that to the bank. And then that's good for the year. And then the next year, then it will show that I'm retired. So, cause we do them based on the calendar year. And so we have given that to them in January. Let's see. Simply Z, catching up 2 speeds. Congrats on retirement. Thank you, Simply Z. Is that an Avalanche logo in there? Great team. Nathan McKinnon. Kale McCarr. Kale McCarr is from around here. Great team. Great team. Rantanen never gets any love either with those two. It's kind of funny. When does the next boot camp start? John Williams, great question. So we have a poll that we're going to put out. It's 4 different times during the week. We're going to take the top 2. Everybody's going to rank them 1 through 4. We're going to take the top 2, and those are going to be the 2 nights every week that the boot camp is held. And then you just attend one or the other. You attend whichever one fits your schedule that week, or if there's one consistently, go to that one. If you want to bounce back between the 2, you can. But I want to do 2 boot camps at the same time. And so you'll see a poll, or you'll see an email this week where everybody that signed up for the boot camp that hasn't attended a boot camp is going to get that email that says, here's what your options are. And then just score them 1, 2, 3, or 4. We'll go through, or the team will go through all those. And when I say team, it's not like this big, huge team of people. It's just specifically my marketing person. And when I say marketing person, I don't own them. They just do this sort of stuff for me because I didn't do it in the past because I had the job. Now I'll do more of it, but I don't want to take that away from them, and I can focus on other stuff like my kids. So that's how we're going to do it. Wealth Building Journey. I know. Oh, that's right. Wealth Building Journey. I own no properties yet, and I've gone through the course 3 times. After memorial service next Saturday, I'm going to go through the course 1 more time before Vegas. Very awesome. Late today, morning all. That's all right, Oscar. Happy to have you. Josh Burdick, congrats, good sir. Here's garage sale hunting fund. Thank you so much. We will add that to the garage sale fund. For those of you who don't know, I teach my kids how to negotiate. I teach my kids that we don't get something everywhere we go. I teach my kids self-control so they don't touch things when we go to yard sales. But we do that as a family during the summertime. And so thank you for the $199. I appreciate it. I will make sure that it is split evenly between the children. All-nighter hider. Thanks, Josh. Yes, thank you. Keith Hager, things about financing during your retirement, net worth statement. Yep. Profit and loss statement, cash flow statement, credit score. Yep. Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. So credit score is good. Cash flow statement's great. Profit and loss statement is, you'll see a video coming up where I talk about how much money I lost last year. Obviously, you know that there's detail. So I will be giving you guys some detail. Ben Fopel, has the Pink Panther meme been sent yet, Dion? Can't send a Pink Panther to me anymore. I'm retired. I think it's going to be on its way to Mike. Millennial Mike. Richard Trong, I have a 3-plex. The course section on marketing the unit was gold. Awesome. 3 times the views on Zillow compared to other rentals. ChatGPT helped with the writing. See that? It works, guys. This is stuff that trial and error. I got to something that worked, and that's why I decided to do a course. Yep, I did. And so thank you for putting that in there, Richard. I really appreciate that. But that's exactly right. And you can use ChatGPT to help you a little bit. It's not illegal, but there's very specific ways you want to communicate it. And when you look at the structure that we have set up, 3 times the views, we see 2 times, 3 times, 5 times the views. Sometimes we only see a 50% increase, but wouldn't you like to have 50% more people looking at your unit so you can get better quality? That's one of the things I saw with one student that we worked with. 2 weeks, ran her own ad and got 1 person that qualified. Ran our ad for a weekend, got 6 that qualified. There's a difference with how we're writing the ad and how we're seeking getting other people interested in the unit. Master Coach University, I have a great assistant at $15 an hour and considering her my property manager running all the systems I built. It's exactly right. It's exactly right. Yep. Booker Fartboy, the new William Wallace, freedom. It's true. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I'm excited. Wealth building journey. More people would reach financial freedom had they learned these basic principles in school. Yep. Live on less than you made, save and invest the difference in real estate, reach your FI and FF number, then retire. Yep. Financial independence or FIRE number. Yep. Robert Farinelli won't be in Vegas. Sorry, too broke. I understand. You are on the, you absolutely will get one. I want to try and do something local too. So I just have to figure that out. Still in a whirlwind from retiring. James Welsh, triplex and duplex on same lot. The GC rehabbing the duplex is taking longer than expected. Would it be a no-brainer for you to get a new GC to rehab the triplex while it's sitting empty? Yes, absolutely. I would be interviewing a lot of people. What you also get too is you create a competition, right? So the one guy shows up earlier than the other guy. The other guy stays later than the other guy. The other guy's work is better than the other guy. The other guy's faster than the other guy. The other guy's more expensive or less expensive than the other guy. I absolutely try to create competition on that level. Why should they not have to compete? What are you, special? No, not special. Mom might think you're special, not special. So that's where I would look at that. That's what I would do. I would absolutely be interviewing, getting quotes from multiple other vendors, and get them absolutely going on the other. You should not be waiting on the other guy. Nope. 2 buildings at the same time. If you don't have big enough crews, that's your problem. That's your problem. Yeah, that's one of the biggest challenges that we have with the big police station and jail. That's one of the biggest challenges we have there. We won't hire a crew that's less than 6 people, because if they're 2 people, they're going to be there a month of Sundays and cause me nothing but delays. They got to have 6, 8 people if they're going to do that project for sure. Wealth building. Oh, I'm sorry. Richard Trong. Any tips on soundproofing recessed lights on a finished ceiling? I can just stuff the cavity above it with Safe and Sound. If they're the pancake lights, yes, you can. Yep. If they're the pancakes lights, yes, you can. Johnny Castro Ramirez. I called it. I knew it was bye-bye W2. I know. Johnny just retired his wife 2 weeks ago. And so I was like, oh man, I'm close. Because here's the thing. It's 100% true. Exactly, right? Thank you, Wealth Building Journey. Yes, going to unconventional means going to unconventional in many other ways. It's definitely not for everybody. Absolutely. But that's the thing is everybody, that's what we love about America, right, Hyder? Everybody gets to review all of the data and then get to make their decision. And that's what makes our country great. Rob, Hyder, get on mic to get that video out. Robert Farinelli, just going to have to wait for the boot camp meetup, but honestly, I'm not that far from Matt. Yet we could meet up if we wanted to. Absolutely. We're going to do, like I said, we'll do something that is for students where we can do something here. We'll do projects. We'll do reviews. We'll do that before the jail is done is my expectation. I'm looking for probably sometime this summer. By the way, do you know who Nick is? He was giving a presentation on NH landlord laws in the State House. Lucky we have a guy like that keeping an eye out. I do. Nick Norman. He is elite. He is the best in the business. He fully understands. He is amazing. Robert, you should get on his emailing list because what he sends out, I read. Anna K, have you used Maine Beans costs I get? I haven't used that yet. Nope, not yet. All-nighter hider, mid-March. We're planning on going back there, Rob, after Vegas for sure. Very cool. Jerniel Diaz. Wow. Congrats on retirement, Mac. Thank you very much, Jerniel. Jerniel's been here since the beginning. Lovely wife and new baby. Congratulations to you guys. All-nighter hider. What is the United States defined as under federal law? Title 28 U.S. Code. Means a federal corporation. Josh Burdick. I've been audited, used a good accountant, and be honest, and all is fine. Exactly. My wife, when we talk about that stuff, she's like, I'm always nervous when I send in the documents. I go, I said to her, if you had prepared them and were the one to review them, I completely agree with you. I would be scared out of my mind too. But that's why we have Bob. That's why we have his team of CPAs. That's why we have the team of analysts there. That's why we have them. We give them all the data. We give them all of it the way that they ask for it. And then they turn back to us and say, hey, based on our professional expertise, here's what we believe. And this is what we should file. That's it. And then they come back to us sometimes with a couple of questions. We give them answers and then we're done. Wealth building is an audit is a thorough review of a report, aka tax return that you're submitting. As a financial analyst, I work with auditors on a regular basis. Their job is to confirm the accuracy of the report. Perfectly said. Perfectly said. There's never a case where they're just like, that guy's guilty, we're going after him with an audit. No, the audit is the factual step. Now, we're here from the government. We're just here to help. Trust me, I'm not under any delusion that the guy is going to be like high-fiving me about my tax strategy. Not saying that. But if we do something inaccurate, okay, like that's all right. The only thing I don't like about it is that it does cost me time and money to give them all the information. It does cost me that extra effort, and I feel like I've already done it once. So yeah, that's what you wouldn't love about an audit. Bless you, Mike, and your family with your retirement. Thank you, Oscar. I really appreciate it. Harry Hanover, all the best leaving the W2. Matt, congrats. Thank you, Harry. Harry retired as well. And so he was thriving and having fun. So yeah, I'm on the Harry Hanover plan. Keith Hager, smash that like button. Thank you, Keith. Let's see, more code. You guys can read all the Hiders code stuff. Agreed, Matt. Changing the pipe can be cheap insurance. Yeah, that's all. If we got a plumber there already and he's doing something else, it's easy. Could I clean out the flux? Yeah. Do I maybe, when I'm brushing that thing, do I maybe create a pinhole? Do I maybe create a weaker point in where the flux was, and that flux that was there was actually keeping it not from leaking? Just again, one of those things. Josh Koster, as someone with no rentals, the course and the boot camp are 1,000% worth it. Thank you, Josh. I really appreciate that. The best way to be ahead is to be with 2 to 3 steps ahead of you, is to be with people 2 to 3 steps ahead of you. That's exactly right. That was probably one of the mistakes that I made, is when I was talking to other investors, I was talking to other people that were about the same size I was. That didn't make a whole lot of sense. They haven't experienced that much more. They're going to, be with you in that moment when you're struggling, but they don't have the same depth and breadth that other people have, right? People that have done the experience. All-nighter header, great, proactive, and ambitious comment, Josh. Exactly right. Totally agree. Flavio Macias. Actually, let's put Josh, you win this. You win one of these. Flavio Macias, good morning. My tenant hasn't paid rent in 2 months. What do you recommend? At month 1 in our course, we always talk about as soon as they hit the dates where they haven't paid rent, and if your lease gives a 3-day grace period, a 5-day grace period, I'm posting papers that day. It's just that simple. It really is. It's just that simple. You don't pay, you post, unless they were a tenant that's paid time and time and time again for 5 years. And then I just reach out to them. Hey, it's the 5th. I haven't gotten rent. Is everything okay? Because truthfully, I'm concerned about them. If it's a brand new tenant, I'm much more concerned, but they're probably trying to play a game. Let's see. So I would be posting papers, Flavio. Landlord Odyssey, Matt, we need more on-site content. I agree, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Tamika, congratulations on retirement. Well-deserved. Looking forward to meeting you in person in Vegas. Tamika, I'm really excited to meet you in person as well. You've been with the channel for a long time, so I'm very excited to shake your hand. Landlord Odyssey, I've been getting those emails from Nick Norman. Yeah, see, signed you up for that. There's a bill that will remove the sprinkler requirement for 4 units and under. So that's only brand new construction. Right now, most cities, most towns, you only have to do that if it's brand new construction. If it's existing construction, even if you rehab it, most towns don't make you do it if it's 4 units and under. It's at 5 and above. Most. Flavio, you may want to start that eviction process first thing tomorrow. I agree, 100%. Key, Matt, question. Do you buy toy dolls for your kids? I love garage sale to teach kids, but none of them are interested in going out. I know, right, Key? Yeah, so we do. So you guys see in the back wall right here, these are all antique Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars. All these are antiques. All these right here. If you saw my office, it is a bunch of memorabilia, whether it's Star Wars, sports cards, signed jerseys, hockey sticks, Hot Wheels, Matchbox cars. We're working on one that is going to blow you guys away. We're redoing the studio. And so we're going to have an alternative studio, but we're redoing it, and it's absolutely freaking awesome how we're decorating it. So yes, as far as toys, yes. Dolls, the dolls, yeah, the big dolls, the big ones, the expensive ones. Yeah, we'll buy those at yard sales because American Girl dolls. Yes, we do the American Girl dolls for my 2 daughters. But we were able to buy, again, we look at it for yard sales, and it's like, $100 for some of those dolls, and then they retire them, and then they do this and they do that, and then they do the other. So yeah, so we try and pick something for each of the kids, and usually like 2 or 3 things. So Sam has kind of 2 or 3 things. Bryn has 2 or 3 things. Eliana's just kind of getting into it now. She's getting there. So yes. Landlord Odyssey, going to turn my 2 unit into a 3 if I don't have to put in sprinklers. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Justin Saley, government motto, we're not happy till you're not happy. It certainly does feel like that sometimes, right? It certainly does. but I think that was the last question. But guys, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for being a part of my journey. Never ever thought I was going to do a YouTube channel. Really, truthfully, you guys see how I am with social media. I hate it. But the only reason that I do it is to be in this community and help out the next generation of investors. So yeah, I'm thrilled to be doing this with you guys. Very excited and excited for what the future holds. Very excited for the ORAD event. Honored to be able to speak there. Spoke at Multifamily Strategies event back a couple of weeks ago. We'll be doing more of that stuff. So if you guys are on other channels, so there are people here on this channel that watch other car channels and they like to give updates about the economy. Guys, drop my name in any of those things. Now I've got time. I'd love to do it. And the only way that these people hear about you, I can reach out. They're not going to spend time with me. I'm just a goofy, tiny YouTube channel. But if they have a bunch of their commenters actually reaching out and saying, hey, listen, this guy's like the real deal. You should check him out. That's how places get in contact with me. So I appreciate you guys for ever posting those things that you do, sharing what you do. That's how we're going to make the community grow. And let's face it, that's, the bigger our community, the stronger it is. And being able to make sure that people are landlording the right way. And quite frankly, not just giving up and letting some asset manager or some property manager manage their stuff. Ben Fopel. Now the question, when is the Lambo video coming out? Or better yet, the video of the REI Avengers 04 Chevy getting blown up. I'm not going to blow up a car. It's perfectly good. I'm still driving it now. Once I get something, I will blow it up. Lambos are still on their way down. I'm not catching a falling knife. Everything is still coming down and coming down fast and hard. Yeah, that's what she said. Yeah, it's coming down. So what I'm literally doing is I'm just waiting. I continue to watch them drop. I continue to watch the prices go down. Guys, I have friends that go to these auctions and they're just like mortified. Like the auctioneer starts out at $34,000 on a newer Tahoe and couldn't get above 24. Guys, that's $9,000 spread, or seven. What was it? 34 to 24, 33 to 24, 32 to 24, whatever it was. It's an $8,000 spread. It's an $8,000 spread. Like they're seeing these massive spreads and then it's going unsold. Dude, these auction lots are jacked up with cars. They're literally telling people now, it's never happened before. They're telling people now, 3 weeks is all you're allowed to run this in the auction. If it still hasn't sold, then you need to get it off site. Guys, that's never happened before. They're dealing with inventory, mass amounts of inventory like they never have been before. All those bad deals back in 2021, 22 that people paid crazy money, way over sticker, took on cheap debt, and now they still can't afford that $900 payment because all the stimmy checks disappeared. Like I shared last week, $750 is the average car payment. $2,500 is the average insurance payment. Annually on the 2,500, $750 is the monthly. That means you're spending about $950 to $1,000 a month for your car. And people are talking about how rent is unaffordable. Give me a break. Give me a break. I bet if it's a couple and the guy has his and the girl has hers, I bet you a 2-bedroom for them or a 1-bedroom for them is less than their car payments. So that's just bad spend. So from my perspective, yeah, I'm going to watch it fall apart a little bit more. But yeah, it's all about timing. It's the same thing with the real estate assets that I buy now. I don't buy average deals. I don't want to. I don't need to be growing. What I really need is to make every deal I do a great deal. That's the key. Booger Fartboy, thumbs up. Thank you, sir. Frank Contreras, thank you. Rich Cooper's Entrepreneurs and Cars. That's a great channel. Love that as well. Harold, thank you. Congratulations. Harold, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Let's see. I'll see Rich in May at Rebel Capitalist Live. I'll mention you, Matt. Thanks. Yeah. I mean, I love this stuff. Yeah. I love this stuff. So, Julie Anderson, how does the missus feel about the retirement? Well, I gave it to her as a Valentine's Day present. We'll see if she wanted something different or better. I doubt she did. But yeah, she feels good about it. She was always one to say, well, like, if you're ready, just leave. And I was like, I'm not ready yet. That's the issue. I'm not ready yet. I wasn't ready yet because I had some things I had to reconcile, and those things got reconciled. And so now I got to a point where I had to either push all in for 3 more years or decide to walk. And now is the right time to walk because I still have 3 young kids that aren't in school all the time. That means I get to be a huge part of their lives as a dad. And I don't know that there's anything for me. I don't know there's anything better than that. So I'm excited to do that. Guys, have a fantastic week. Thank you so much for having such an amazing community. Yeah, we always try and create great content for you. Looking forward to the ORAD event, and yeah, exciting things to come. Valentine's Day 2024 will officially be my last year or last day as a W-2. Hopefully you find that encouraging and that you guys continue to refocus on your business, invest in yourselves, and get a better, stronger performing portfolio so you can do the same. Guys, have an absolutely fantastic day. Appreciate you. Have a great one. Bye now.